Cumhuriyet TV ekranlarından herkese merhabalar. 15 Ağustos 2021 tarihinden itibaren yönetimi ele alan Taliban, Afganistan'da kadın haklarını hedef almaya devam ediyor. Son olarak kamu alanındaki kadınları hedef alarak burka giyme zorunluluğu getiren Taliban, medya sektöründeki kadınların da işini bir hayli zorlaştırıyor. Şimdi yayınımıza Washington'dan İnsan Hakları savunucusu Bahar Jalali katılacak. Bahar Jalali, hoş geldiniz yayınımıza öncelikle. Çok teşekkürler davetimizi kabul ettiğiniz için. Öncelikle şunu sormak istiyorum. Afganistan'daki kadın hakları ne durumda? Ne gibi zorluklarla karşılaşıyorsunuz?
Since the Taliban returned to power in August 2021, Afghan women have lost virtually all of their rights, which they had under the previous government, which is the teenage girls have been banned from attending school. So that's a ban on education of secondary age schoolgirls. Women are banned from most jobs. So there's a ban on employment. And moreover, women are restricted from traveling from a certain distance without a male chaperone. Women have to cover their face while traveling in public. And I would like to point out that this is something that has never happened in Afghanistan before. When the Taliban were previously in power in the 1990s, they, of course, placed these restrictions on women and banned women from their fundamental human rights, the rights they've been granted under Islam. So we are very concerned, we Afghans, because it seems as though, Afghan women are being erased from society, from the right to an education, jobs, movement, any type of freedom in their country, and the world is looking away, and that's very concerning for us.
Peki kadınlar medya sektöründe ne gibi zorluklar yaşıyorlar?
For 20 years, there was really a media boom in Afghanistan after, of course, the U.S.-led military intervention, and a new constitution was adopted in 2004. And female TV broadcasters, of course, enjoyed a lot of rights to work in their profession, practice their craft, present the news. And nowadays, of course, female journalists are facing a lot of restrictions. First and foremost, female journalists cannot present news without wearing a face covering, basically, covering their entire face. And again, I just want to point out that this has nothing to do with Afghan customs or anything else. It's just really a way to try to demoralize women from, practicing journalism, from presenting the news. And recently there was a campaign by Afghan male journalists to express solidarity with their female counterparts by wearing face masks. And there's an online campaign going on called Free Her Face, which has gone viral. So, all of these decrees by the Taliban are just attempts to really just, not only punish women, but really erase them from society. It's inside Afghanistan. Male journalists working in Afghanistan are wearing face masks to say, if you're going to force Afghan female journalists to cover their face while they work as journalists, we are going to do the same. Now, I'm hoping that this will be, a continuous campaign and not a one isolated event, but that remains to be seen. What really needs to happen is continued protest, continuing campaigning. And, one thing that has happened in the past 20 years is that Afghan women are a lot more aware, a lot more active and vocal. So it's going to be a lot harder for the Taliban to simply impose their will on the Afghans like they did in the 1990s. Because in the past 20 years, there was progress.
Son olarak da şunu sormak istiyorum. Taliban yönetiminde en son yapılan açıklamaya göre gerekirse eğer ihtiyaç duyarsak kadınları orduya alacağız açıklaması geldi. Bu konu hakkında ne düşünüyorsunuz? Orduya katılım fikri sizce neyin işareti?
That's absolutely preposterous. Basically what that is that it's a public relations ploy for the Taliban to say, hey, we're not letting teenage girls go to school. We're not letting them to, travel for a certain distance without a male chaperone. But hey, we're not totally all anti-women. We're going to allow them to serve in the army. So as you probably know, the Taliban desperately want to be recognized as the official government of Afghanistan. they're of course putting all these restrictions on women, banning them, for stripping them of all their rights, but they want to throw a little bit of a bone and say, hey, please recognize us because we're not really anti-women. Look, we're allowing them to serve in the military. And I should probably say that the practice of women serving in the military didn't really exist under the old regime before 1978. And in the past 20 years, it sort of became a practice, but it was completely voluntary. And what the Taliban are trying to do is just really, it's another example of really mocking Afghan culture, mocking Afghan women, and at the same time trying to, present themselves to the international community as a legitimate government.
Evet, verdiğiniz cevaplar için çok teşekkür ediyoruz Bahar Jalali. Tekrardan yayınımıza katıldığınız için teşekkürler.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to join you today.
Evet, bugün Afgan insan hakları savunucusu Bahar Jalali ile birlikte Afganistan'daki kadın haklarını konuştuk. Kadınlar ne zamana kadar mücadele edecekler ve bu burka giyme zorunluluğu nereye kadar sürecek? Birlikte değerlendirdik. Bize Afganistan'daki kadınların yaşadığı zorlukları aktardı. Çok teşekkür ediyoruz yayınımızı izlediğiniz için. Hoşça kalın. Cumhuriyet TV'yi takip etmeyi unutmayın.